Do you know who the first man to compete in 9 major finals is? Yeah, you guessed right, Ivan Lendl. He's a former professional tennis player from Czechoslovakia, who eventually became an American citizen and is widely regarded as one of the all-time great tennis players. Ivan comes from a tennis-loving family that includes his wife, Samantha, and 5 kids. Although his kids have chosen a slightly different career path from him, that hasn't stopped him from instilling that competitive drive in his daughters. Let's dive into his background, shall we? The former golf champ Ivan Lendl was born on the 7th of March 1960 in Ostrava, Czech Republic. Ivan was so good that he held down the world's #1 ranking for 270 weeks and won 94 single titles. He was able to win 8 major singles championships, but luck wasn't always on his side as he holds a joint record 11 times as a runner-up along with Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic, making him the first man to appear in 19 major finals. Ivan also contested a record 8 consecutive US Open finals and won 7 year-end championships. In 5 different years, 1982, 1985, 1986, 1987, and 1989, he was the only male player in professional tennis history to have a match-winning percentage of above 90%. Nobody could touch him in those years. He also had a comfortable winning record against his best adversaries. The year-end championship, which include the 8 best-ranked singles players, were where Ivan's era supremacy was most visible. He has a 39-10 win-loss record in the event, having appeared in the final 9 times in a row. He's also known as the father of the modern game and the father of the inside-out forehand. Word on the street is that he pioneered a new tennis style. His game was built around his forehand, which he hit hard and flat, and his success is attributed to the popularization of the aggressive baseline power tennis style that's now currently widely used. Following his retirement, he became a tennis coach for a number of players, including Andy Murray, who he helped win 3 major titles and earn the world's #1 position. Ivan was born into a tennis-loving family. He was born to his parents, Jiri Lendl, his father, and Olga Lendlova, his mother. Jiri Lendl, Ivan's father, worked as a lawyer at a legal business. In addition, his father was a chess master, having won junior championships in Bohemia and Moravia. He was placed among Czechoslovakia's top 15 chess players. Jiri Lendl has also competed in a simultaneous charity demonstration versus Grandmaster Kasparov. Jiri used to be a professional tennis player, and he was a fantastic tennis player. In 1990, he served as the president of the Czech Tennis Federation. Ivan's mother, on the other hand, was also a professional tennis player. She reached the top of her tennis career when she was rated as the country's #2 female player. Ivan later got married to Samantha Frankel on the 16th of September 1989, 6 days after participating in the US Open final against Boris Becker. Samantha is described as a woman with a golden heart. According to reports, she is a sweet and gentle lad who likes assisting others. She's also well known for her reassuring and kind demeanor. It's been said that her beauty is one of her greatest assets. She doesn't like to share her professional life events with others, which explains why you can't find her on any social media platforms. Reports suggest that not everyone has the privilege to get to know Samantha until the individual becomes her closest friend. This particular quality was what made Ivan fall in love with her. Samantha can be described as a woman of trust who makes valuable efforts for the people she loves. She's a great supporter of her famous tennis player husband. This lovely lady is always there for Ivan when he needs her the most. Ivan was able to maintain his place in the world of fame because of her. She enjoys adventurous activities. Ivan's entire family participates in one or more sports. Samantha, for example, enjoys horseback riding, one of her favorite things to do. Samantha met Ivan when she was 14 through a previous player, Wojtek Fibak. The couple fell in love at a young age and married on the 16th of September 1989 after a few years of dating. Ivan married Samantha after a 6-year engagement, and the ceremony took place in their home. The couple spent their honeymoon in a remote inn in Connecticut on the same night. The next day, they went to a Whalers game before flying to Europe. Samantha has always admired Ivan's dedication to his profession and his drive to succeed. He wanted to concentrate on his professional career and devote all of his time and effort to it. And Samantha, being a loving woman, has strong support for Ivan and has been there for him through all his personal and professional ups and downs. Their relationship is unique because of her unwavering support and love for him. Samantha and Ivan have 5 daughters together. Their first is Marika, then twin girls Isabelle and chilrden. Their other daughters are Daniela and Nikola. Samantha once explained in an interview that when their kids were crawling, Ivan would say, "Okay, who can go to the top?" Apparently, Ivan kept pushing them in the same manner, and with his help, they climbed fast in the world of junior golf. With no apparent limit in what they could achieve in the sport, Ivan's 2 daughters, Isabelle and Marika, were once 3rd and 10th, respectively, in the American Junior Golf Association's Polo Golf rankings. Daniela, who's also known as Crash, also stood in the top 300 at the same time. Initially, the siblings played tennis and became quite good at it, but the pressure of being compared to their father was simply too much for them to bear. With golf, they didn't have that problem. The conversation was complete by the time each of them reached the age of 11 or so. They learned to play the game at country clubs close to their home in Goshen, and each winter homeschooled by their mother. When it was time to take things more seriously, the family relocated to Bradenton, where Marika enrolled at the Ledbetter School. 6 months later, Isabelle and Daniela signed up. At the Ledbetter Golf Academy, they were coached by professionals who fine-tuned their swings and psyches. But Ivan was the true driving force behind their development. Isabelle, Marika, and Daniela, like their father, are fierce competitors who have always had their game faces fully in place before any game begins. Also, like their dad, they were always very focused during competition. Daniela was a member of the University of Alabama's women's golf team, while Marika and Isabelle are members of the University of Florida's women's golf team. During the 2011-2012 academic year, Ivan and Samantha's daughter, chilrden, was a member of the University of Alabama rowing team. At the same time, their other daughter, Nikola, worked as a SoulCycle instructor. I think this demonstrates that all of the family members are naturally inquisitive and competitive. Isabelle Lendl is an American amateur golfer who was born on the 29th of July, 1991. In the 2006 American Junior Golf Association's girls rankings, she came in second. She was selected as a first-team Rolex Junior All-American after finishing first in the top 5. Isabelle is bilingual, speaking both Czech and English. At the age of 12, Isabelle became the youngest player to qualify for the 2004 U.S. Women's Amateur, and in 2006, she won 3 AJGA tournaments: the MCI Junior Heritage, Scott Robertson Memorial, and Thunderbird International Junior. Isabelle represented the United States in the 2006 Junior Ryder Cup, going 2-0 to help the team earn a 6-6 tie. She won the Women's Eastern Amateurs in 2009 and 2012. Isabelle and her elder sister Marika are still members of the University of Florida's varsity golf team. Even though she had her father's famous last name, Daniela still made quite the name for herself before turning 25. She was a talented golfer who represented the University of Alabama women's team. She worked as an assistant coach for the University of Denver women's golf team before working for the Connecticut State Golf Association for a few years. Daniela began working with the United States Golf Association in August 2017 to assist with the transition of the updated rules of golf, which were slated to go into effect on the 1st of January 2019. She has worked with the CSGA in a variety of capacities. She is also the director of women's golf and member services at Manchester Country Club, where she oversaw the Connecticut Women's Amateur, which Lendl won in 2009 at Smith Richardson GC. What do you think about Ivan Lendl's family, especially his girls doing well in other sports? Comment below.